All right. Good afternoon. We're back. Still just chopping in the same range, looks like, huh? Just chopping in the same range. Excuse me. All right, let me see what we got. I'm probably going to go ahead and I don't know. I was going to go ahead and roll over, but I'm not sure I should. Yeah, I probably will. I'll have to really just chopping around here, right? We just kind of just stayed in the same range all day, below an initial balance, above the 15-minute breakout. Just kind of staying right there in the same range all day. Trying to look and see what I think is going to happen going into close. But right now, I'm not sure. Let me get... I didn't know if they're receiving a call there. Probably spam. You know how that is. What up, 6 Billy Benz? You're about to start your own live stream. Yes, advice is going to be don't expect it to be an overnight success, number one. Number two, pick times of the day that not everyone else is streaming. Obviously, that's had some sort of success for Pine Tree, Cove, Zero Day J, Stock Tiger, and so forth. So maybe stream London, stream New York, stream, stream different hours of the day that not everybody's on. And just don't expect it to be an overnight success. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. That's pretty much it. Might take a play off the 15-minute orb, something like that. We were only up $200 when we ended the stream. We did take another trade, and we banged it. We banged. So got back our profits on the funded accounts there, up $1,000 on those. And what trade did we take? Well, right there. We took a full part trade. I mean, like, I drew this trend line and I said, like, I'm uncomfortable with longs until this trend line is ran. I knew it was going to be run. I said it was going to be run. I knew it. Absolutely knew it. And it ran it. Yeah, we live, room. We live. Yeah. We live. We live. Look at this push. What up, Tech T? Yes, bouncing off the 28 there. I like this spot for a little. Really kind of like this for a long, but all right, I'm long here. Closed above the 50. Gonna move my stop down to the 40 here. And target the 77. Sean, you're not wrong. This PA is bad. I woke up, I took a nap, and I just woke up and I was like, holy cow, we're still in the same spot from earlier. So I'm in the same short for 4 hours. Yeah, I was leaning short. I mean, like I said, I did take it, over there. Just looked at it, but looks like we might get wrecked here. The 50 EMA and the view. I didn't even know CES was at the view op there. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not going diamond hand. Sean's diamond handing it. Sean is the diamond hander. El diamond hand. Kind of want to add right here. I think it's safe to add here and take it off at 65. Something like that. You know what? I should probably take it off at 60. No, this is just an eval. Evaluation. You took 15 trades, 10 points each, 1.5 risk for losers. To account for trade, copy your 5 contracts on each trade. Nice. I should probably take 5 of these off at 60 because that is where the target should be. I'll go 61. And I'll go break even there. All right, got the stop in now. I'm going to lock some in as we go here. We'll lock in a little bit. I do think it still goes, but because of my bad entry there, I really should have waited for that psych level touch there because of that bad entry. I'm just going to go ahead and take it off. 15 trades, 4 losers. Yeah, what we're going to do after the end of the stream here, I'm going to continue my back testing on the 15-second. Room, I took that because of the 50 psych level. I mean, realistically, I kind of took it because we broke out of that 1 minute trend line, right? But I got in here. I should have got in down here somewhere. And then we kind of pushed above the 50 on the new contract and retested it. So on the new contract, we had pushed above the 50 here and then retested it. So let me get over to the new contract. I'm going to go ahead and load it up here. So we're going to go ahead and flip. I'll have to put out my levels, redo my levels again, but that's all right. You shouldn't have traded today. You need to start taking your own advice. Yeah, it's one of those days like that. 10 points, get really good at it. I do, Lunatic. That's pretty much what I take. I really do just take 10-point trades for the most part. I really do. Thereabouts. 10 points. Let's see. 930. I'm looking for the 945. All right, so what is it? This is 945 right there. So this is the orb. 50-minute orb. It's right with the VWAP there. So that's what we'll probably be looking for now. Let's get a pull back into the 15-minute orb. Lines up with the VWAP. A little pivot point down there. Whole number. So this is going to be a really good area for a little bounce out of there. So let's wait for that. I think we just wait for that. You tried not to be religious on the market when I'm wrong. I admit I'm wrong. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. No wonder they say Las Vegas on the market is the most religious place on earth. 90% of people in the market are religious. I mean, I'm a religious, Lunatic, but I'm not. My religion has nothing to do with my trading. The 15-second strategy room is pretty simple. Pretty simple. So let's look at today's 15 seconds. So you're going to take the first 15-second candle of the day. So right here, you're going to bracket above and below. Full port with a long or a short. So today it broke long, right? So you would have got long at 22,040. The immediate push up was 60 points. If you took this long and you just put your stop to break even at 10 points, which is a thing. I don't do it that way, but you could. If you took the long and you simply put your stop at break even at 10 points today, never came back to your entry and it's up 182 points. All right. Now, these days I notice happen about once every probably week and a half, where it'll just go and it'll never come back to the entry. Now, me, the way I played it today, I went 7 minis. I had a 3-point trailing stop. Woo! What was that? I had a 3-point trailing stop and still made $1,000 on it. There you go, guys. Look at this thing rip. I'm tempted to just jump in here. I'll just jump in on this or what? Yes, about the VWAP there. Let me put the ES on the new contract too, actually. I'll have to put the levels on the ES again, but so ES did not get above the VWAP. So if you're going to be my friend, you cannot be religious on the market. Yeah, no, I'm not religious. No worries. Not religious on the markets. I don't know what that is. So I don't have any levels marked out on the ES anymore. I probably should do that. Because I moved them over. Let's just mark a few out. 6092 reclaim. So 92 reclaim could see 99. 6104, 6112, 6124. Marking out my ES levels right quick. 6081 is support, so we bounced right off that support. and 6063 below there. All right, let's mark those out. All right, there we go. We got them marked out. $1,000 is nothing bad. It's not nothing bad, but you've been being religious about how many times versus you are not going. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't say anything about religion in my trading. I don't know what you mean. 6092. All right. When you're wrong, you start hoping and praying. I don't ever do that. I always cut my losses. What do you mean? Unless you're talking about I don't know. I typically admit when I'm wrong. I don't know. I usually admit when I be wrong and just cut my losses. Now, if I go on tilt, you know, it's a different story, but if I go on tilt, which I try not to do. All right. Got everything pulled up now. Yeah, very erratic, Tech T. You're not wrong. Now, we did take some liquidity here. You could maybe short this, potentially. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody trades different, Lunatic, right? I trade different than you. You trade different than me. There's a million different ways to do it. Not necessarily right and wrong. Just whatever works for you. That's good. Whatever works for me. That's good. Oh, 2,200 and 22,140 is current support. Clearly, yeah. If you're wrong on a trade, most people will hope and pray it gets going to the direction. Yeah, I don't do that, Lunatic. I mean, I have hard stops in typically. I have hard stops in. I do know people like that. First 15-second candle was red, short. No. Room, you're looking at the high and the low of the first 15-second candle. So you let the first 15-second candle print, and if it breaks above the high, you go long. If it breaks above the low, you go short. We're going to backtest it as soon as the stream ends, so I'm going to keep streaming through close, and then I'm going to take the next hour to just go straight into some backtesting. We're going to go straight into some backtesting. What up, MB? What is the break above? Just a move above. Simple. Here, we'll look at it. Let's see, 15 seconds. So basically, all you're going to do is look at the first 15-second candle. Pretty simple, right there. So that's the first 15-second candle. If price had broke below the low, if it went here, then you would have shorted right there. Since it went above the high, you would just long right there. Have a limit order resting. That's how you do it. Simple. Even if the candle was not closed. Yeah, just got to go through it. Backtest with a micro, you have to have some mental skin in the game. Yeah, I'm just doing like a mental back test, writing it down manually. So yeah, give it a go, or room. Let me know. To the moon, Bassick. I'm still short bias for now until the ES could pop above the 6092. Then I think we go. But until then, we'll wait. We'll wait and see what we get. We get a close below here, we'll take it. I'm using 3 points. Well, really, I back tested it with a 2-point stop and a 3-point take profit. But I would say it's probably more logical to have like a 3-point stop and a 3-point take profit with big size. But you could do it. You could do it however you want. You can go for, so with the 3 and a 3, it was 81% win rate. It was what, 46 out of 56 over the last 56 trading days. Well, over the first 56 trading days of the year. But I want to continue on until current time. So we're in like the middle of March in our testing. We'll continue the back test and until we get to current day price, and we'll see how it looks then. Use a combine with micros. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, Lunatic. That makes sense. I'd like for it long off the 15-minute orb here. I think that kind of aligns with around, that's about 50% of the range too, if we fib. So we just fib the opening, the range here from intraday. The orb is sitting at about 50% here. So I do think this is a good area for long. Definitely a good area to look for a long. Now, we've struggled to get back to this level the entire day. We may not make it back there, right? I'm going to tell you right now, my lean into the close, you're going, I mean, hopefully we can get down to here, but I think into close, we're going to see a boner candle back above 200, and we close up here somewhere. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong. But look at all this liquidity that we've generated. I mean, when you're looking at that 350 algo candle, it's looking for liquidity to run. It doesn't have a whole lot of liquidity built up lower, but we've generated a lot of trendline liquidity here. So if this stays here into that 350 algo candle, I think we spike up hard. That's what I think. It's just my thoughts. This gap here is probably the gap that needs to be repriced. Out of curiosity, what do you mean by orb? Opening range break. So 15-minute opening range is here. So the top of the 15-minute opening range. So just from open, the first 15 minutes, the high and the low in the first 15 minutes. So you have it right there at 22,110. It's not been tested today. It just broke out and prices never came back to it. So I would expect that to be retested, sitting in a bullish gap with the VWAP, with the whole number just below, and a pivot point. A lot of reasons in this area for us to bounce. So whether or not we can get to that area is the question. I don't know. Your goal is not to make anybody feel bad about trading, but to contribute, and give you, in my experience, and avoid some of the mistakes. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all, Lunatic. I like that. You demand forever. You demand. I like that. When you have G Summit, but unpredictable news coming out, you have contract rollover. Yeah, all those things, Lunatic, for sure. For sure. All those things. Now, I think we do rebalance this gap. If we can close below here, it's reasonable to take the short. 17 points, about a 20-point stop. Risk to reward not great on it, but I'll still probably take it. I should have probably held this. I should have long here for a little bounce off the 50 back into the 60. Yeah, 10-point stop. You for sure get stopped off. You would get stopped. That's the thing. Like, I think Room's just talking about that one trade that we're talking about, the 15-second opening range. But even I wouldn't even go 10-point stop on that one, because when it's wrong, it's wrong. You want it to work like today, where it just goes and never comes back. What did oil do today? Yeah, so it just trended lower. Everybody thought oil was going to go to the moon. And it did kind of double top there, and then it's just right back into the range. Wow, look at gold. Gold has really dropped here. A possible long setting up here on gold. Possible long. Possible long setting up on gold. That would be your levels. Take profit levels. So if it breaks structure here on the 5, it's not clean. It's not that clean, but those could be your targets. Oh, you're trying to predict the move in the market before I take the trade, especially when I'm waiting. You just will hold on to your biases very bad. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know that we make it back to this 15-minute opening range down here in the 120 area. I don't know that we do. The market's just not wanting to, right? It is just not wanting to. I don't trade on Hill. I don't really trade the gold all that often. But when I see it, when I do watch gold, I look at the 5-minute trend line. That's basically what I use for gold. I use a 5-minute trend line there. This isn't that clean, and let's be honest, it's not that clean. You'd have to kind of put this one there too. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, you got room to test this bigger trend line up through these levels. Yeah, gold has decent moves. Yeah, gold's not bad. I mean, I like gold. I just don't trade it that often. It can break you pretty quickly, gold can. What up, red candles? It can break you down and spank you. So all right, we got about 24 minutes left in the day here. This thing looks like it just wants to pump. I'm going to go ahead and size down here a little bit. I'm going to go 2 micros and jump in long here. So I'm going 2 micros, going to jump in long. Put my stop down here. And I kind of am jumping in long here before confirmation, but all right, let's see, 201. So kind of something like that. Stop just at the low. Because here's the thing. We know if it pushes down, if it pushes back below this, we're probably going to retest that 20 area. So we already know that. So I'll just kill it there, and we'll look for a larger position down here. Yeah, pretty choppy today, red candles. You're not wrong. Developing bad habits. Should you be a buy stop or a sell stop, not limit? I don't know. I just use a limit order because I'm using Quantower. So for example, I just place one above. Like, let's just say that's the 15-second candle. I would place one above and then one below. So one above, one below. Should be a limit order. Two micros is nutty trading. No fun. Let's full port. No! We can't full port. I'll add to it. If ES can clear the 92 there, then I'll add long. I'm assuming that we don't pull back here. I'm assuming that we just make it on to the, that we just go up. We hold this gap here, which are things we may not do, but I'm assuming that that's the case. And so I'm going to go ahead and take a stab here. Don't do what I do. I think it all works the same. You just can't set a limit on both sides unless you're in a trade. Yeah, that's true. Use market order for everything. Cannot use the limit order. The waters when things get very slow. Yeah. On Ninja, it's more difficult to bracket above and below. I know that. You can, but I'm not even 100% sure how to do it on Ninja. I use it. That's why I use that trade on Quantower. So we got about 10 minutes here until the murder bot, which I do think takes us higher. But volume is split today, so the murder bot may not even be as volatile as we normally have it, right? May not even be. 221. I'm going to target that 220 on that runner there. Oh, you going to write the bot on Ninja? Okay, let me know. Let me know, room, how it goes. I'm too much of an idiot to write a bot. You're going to try to convince Nutty Bar to open a landscaping company in the name of the company Amish on a lawnmower. Oh, nice. Amish on a mower. Nutty definitely likes cutting that grass. I like cutting grass too, but like at a certain point in the summer, it becomes a chore. Yeah, Tech T, I agree. I mean, like, to the downside, 115, 120 makes sense. If we're unable to get there, the break back through the highs makes a lot of sense to me. We got a lot of generated liquidity to the upside. We do kind of have some to the downside, but I think the liquidity to the upside is a little more. I mean, we do have a little 1 minute trend line here. So you might could see a little wick down into the 130, 120, and then a rip up. But so, I mean, I got two micros here. I could realistically put my stop at like 90. What would that be? 65. I mean, like risking like $260 or so. Put my stop down at like the 90 level. But I'll probably just rather look to re-enter than to do that. It's putting a lot of faith in my idea to do that. So we'll just leave it where it is for now and see what happens in the next 7 minutes. That's what we'll do. ES kind of just holding below the VWAP here. ES below the VWAP, Nasdaq above the VWAP. Pamp it or sell off. Yeah, we'll see. I think it rips, But it could pull back into the VWAP before it wants to go. It could. I mean, that's really kind of ideal for it to pull back into the VWAP, but I would like it to do it before, you know. Yeah, I think that's probably because of the split volume there, Tech T. And so it may not act the way we want it to act. Woo! Little sneezy sneeze. So we got about sitting on 6 minutes here until the 350 algo candle. Again, what I'll do is I'll add into this, but if it does pull back, I don't know. I don't want to marry this position that I'm in right now. So that's the thing. If I get stopped, I think I get stopped, and then just re-enter down here with larger size, I think makes a lot more sense than to try to marry this position and have an average much higher than I would normally. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It might be a mild murder bite. You never know. I took a good nap today, guys. A good nap. Now we're starting to get the push. Now that's what I'm saying. This makes a lot more sense to me. The liquidity, to me, is resting up higher. That low resistance liquidity higher. I think the run back 220 through 220 makes a lot of sense. By the end of the day, potentially. Let's kind of see what happens here. 4 minutes. 4 minutes until the murder bot comes and takes its treasure. Where's design at? Layeth at your feet what you bring to sacrifice for the murder bot. Lay down your treasures for thy personal murder bot. No! Lay down thy treasure. The murder bot taketh, the murder bot giveth. What up, Stock Tiger? What are you up to over there, Stock? What are you up to? That's what design used to always say. Prepare thy blessings. Prepare thy sacrifices for the murder bot. My sacrifices are 2 micros on an eval. Let's go. Giving your profits to the market. Uh-oh. Don't do it! Stock Tiger, no! Don't do it! ES got to clear that 92 level. If ES clears that 92, we're off to the races, guys. I'm telling you, if this murder bot takes us above 92 here, this thing's going to go. You raised your hands. Stock Tiger's in his Tesla. He raised his hands. He's got the FSD going. The full self-driving going. There's no Teslas in Canada, are there, Stock Tiger? Probably not in that colder environment up there. No Teslas up there. All right, if we get to the murder bite here, I may add a pullback first before it goes long. Why enter on a strong green candle to go long? I will have to sue you. Oh, goodness. What up, Take Profit Tom? I don't know, because it's cold. those batteries don't perform as well in the cold, right? I mean, I'm talking about like the colder areas of Canada. The colder areas. I don't know examples, but I'm just saying. All right, do we add going into the murder bot? Do we believe? Do we believe? I mean, we do believe. We do believe. I should probably already have added. Should have already added. It's gonna go. I know it is. It's gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go like this, and we'll sell. All right, we're in 12 micros now. I'm going to take 10 off the push through 90. 5 to push through 82, 10 to push through 90. I just believe, since it hasn't came down yet, that the algo is going to take it up, but I could be wrong. In 15 seconds, we shall know. I'll pop into the 80s. Makes a lot of sense for sure. I'm going to go break even if it hits there. And it did the opposite. Interesting. Did the opposite. Dang you, market. Oh, that's quite rude. Now the question is, do I just marry the trade or not? Do we marry the trade? We'll see how the ES closes here. So ES closing below the VWAP. I may just take this off and look for. I'm gonna take it off and look for the bounce somewhere else. Maybe see if we make it down here or not. It just completely did the opposite of what we thought. Hit the 150 to the T there. ES closing below the VWAP is what I don't like. Still think we go long, but we'll see. You have a Toyota hybrid minivan? Nice. All right, we may take the short then. We may take the short. 355 usually reverses. Yeah, I know. We're down $600 on that eval now. We married it. We married it. We shouldn't have done it. We knew better. We've got about 2.5 minutes until the 355. I mean, it does kind of get the feeling that it's going to pull back into the 120 now. But ES is pushing back above the VWAP again, so we may long again. May give it one more try here. All right, I'm going to stab long again. Stop at the low. And let's see. Might stop us before the algo even hits. Yes, close back above the VWAP, so I assume we probably go there. But if we do close below this inversion, I'll flip short. We'll full port short. All right, it got me. It got me. That's rude. Man, it still just seems like we're going to run right back through all that. Still seems that way. 147 price to long. Yeah, seems fine. All right, now we're going. Before the 55 here. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take it long for sure. Now I'm going to marry the long. All right, we only got one left. Got one left. See if it runs into the 200 into close. That's what I expected on the 50 algo. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, room. That's what I was like, you know. Yes, tap that 92. If it gets above 92, I will add. I will actually long ES as well right here. If it gets above 92. If it can't get above 92, then we're going to just get stopped here anyway. I'm going to look for a push into the 2020. Into close, let's see. Got 4 minutes until close here. Did I not have my stop where it needed to be on that pushback down? I guess I didn't. Why did I do that? I had it there. I think it's barely got. I didn't even realize that. I did not even realize that. Pivot at 92. Yeah, pivot. I got it at 93. I do have a key level there at 92. If we can pop that area, I think we're squeezing the close here. Squeeze into the final few minutes there. You got 3 minutes left here. So far rejecting it. Pulling back. It's not what you want to see. ES tapped the 92, now pulled back. Probably going to push back down now. If we do close below this, if we close below this gap here, I will short it. I think the push down into the 120 will make a lot of sense then. You don't use VWAP, you call it sucker's line? I don't know. I don't use it for like entries, but I do like to know where it's at for support and resistance. But I'm not taking an entry off of it per se. So no close below there. Coming into the final minute. The final countdown. Oh. The final countdown. All right, I'm going to take the short here. I'm going to short here for the run down into 30. 37 will be the stop to break even. Actually, just leave the short on 37. It hit 37? It did not. Or actually, that was stop to break even was actually 41. I didn't notice that. Unable to push it lower there. I missed the stop to break even. It was up 7 points. Should have taken it. Should have taken it. All right, pushing up here into the final minute there. Is going to run the high there at 180 something or not. 184. ES above the 92 there. Looking like we're going to finally squeeze. Kind of got me to change my mind when it inversed down to the downside there, but that's all right. Use predefined strategy to entry. Just a trail stop. That's all. Just a trail stop. For like a 3, I use like a 12 tick trail stop there. So that's the market close there. ES is above 92. Remove the VWAP. Write out all the entries. Put back the VWAP. You'll know your win rate. Oh, I don't use the VWAP for an entry. I just use it for, like, you know, kind of just same thing I use my EMAs for. I use my 50 EMA sometimes for entries, but not VWAP. Not the VWAP. Won't even let me do that. Let's see. All right, we're going to start the, let me get the FX replay pulled up. We're going to start that back test again, continue along with it. If you want to stick around, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. I consider the market closed now. I know it's open for another hour, but let's continue. ES breaking out here, so's Nasdaq. Let me get this set up here. All right. Let's see here. 15-second. Let's go to the chart. Let's make sure it's got me on the right date and time here. UTC -4. We'll just show you the date that you're on. Anybody know where it shows the date? Let me see. Scalp shorting a green candle is to see a profit, take profit strategy. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know where to tell. I want to make sure it's starting me. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, we're in the right. All right, we are on the right date. All right, here we go. So we're going to be starting the back test now again. So the idea is we're just looking at the first 15-second candle at the open, 9:30. And we're going to be taking the breakout long or short based on that. And all I'm going to keep up with are wins and losses. And the number, or the kind of general idea of the size of the win or the loss. So in this scenario, you would place your brackets here and here. And then, let's see. So it would have went to the long side, 98.75, went to 805.75, so 7 points. And then it came back. So that's a win. And then we go to the next session. Simple. We got about 30 days, or let's see, yeah, a little around 30 days to do to be to the to be back to today's price action. See, sometimes you get, these are the toughest ones to tell that are winners when it closes like right there at the high or the low. All right. So 768. $55.68. I cannot tell. Did that one? Okay, so that one would have. It pulled back and then went. All right, yeah. Pulled back and then went. There we go. So 68 to 56. That's 8 points. So that's what we're doing here, guys. If you're, we're going to finish up this back testing. Shouldn't take that long on this 15-second opening range to give us an idea. If you haven't looked at this trade, it's pretty interesting. $666,676. All right, that did come back. It would have stopped us out. It would have stopped you out on that one, 10 points. So we're just going to keep going here. We're in March. Obviously, we need to make our way on up through the rest of the month. So there's our first 15-second candle. So you'd be tagged in there. So it would have been tagged in at 41.75, 38.75. So this is one where it's just 3 points. So I would consider that a loser, even though It may not be 41.75 to 38.75. It's 3 points, but I consider that a loser. You know what I mean? On the 10-second chart, you only use 25 EMA. 10-second chart, 25 EMA. Nice. Yeah, not bad. All right. You can see that went 3 points. And even though I'm only looking for 2 points, really, on these trades, like, I still count that as a loss because, you know, inherently you're going to probably have some slippage. Especially if you're doing it with large size, right? $4.05. Yep, so we didn't get stopped there. So 406 pushed to 412, so 6 points. Let's move on to the next one. And again, I'll do this with the actual data. I'll actually place the orders and stuff. I'll backtest this through the entire last year. Right now I'm doing it from January 1st to current day, because that's kind of, you know, Trump's market, if you will. All right, there we go. That's a win. So 50 to 55, 5 points. 5 points. Let's go to the next day here. We're just going to keep going. I guess I can take this P&L off here, huh? Take that off here too. Know what that is. I keep trying to hit control to move the chart. This is going to be one of those big winners, looks like. I mean, this thing could run all the way up to the 83. Oof, would have stopped us out. So 30 up to 44, 15 points. I bet this keeps going, yeah. That's one of those dirty ones. Still gave you 15 points, can't complain. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. What? This one's gonna be tough. It's at a whole number here. Still won. Wow. See how tricky it is? Like, that's one I wouldn't expect to kind of be a winner like that. All right. But it was. It went from 897 down to 839. So what is that? 60? No. Yeah. Basically 58. We'll just call it 55. Keep the math simple. And I'm not really focusing on how big the win is. It's more or less whether or not he hits 4 points or not. Really 3.5 to 4 points, I'm going to consider it a winner. If it's not there, then I'm going to consider it a loser. So, all right, this is a tricky one probably. 188.50, 191.75. So yeah, you see, this is another one. It went 3 points, right? And we're only looking for 2 points. But I'm going to put that one in the losers column, even though it did go 3.5 points. What up, Pine Tree? We're doing the back testing, Pine Tree. Also, I'm curious if it breaks the low. Let's see if it would be a winner if it breaks the low. Ooh, it would. So that's another thing I'm kind of looking at. 159 down to 140. So on the loss, the break of the low, I didn't check the first one there. I didn't think about it. But we will also keep an eye on that just for testing purposes. You know, how often if it breaks the low, if the high loses, does it win if it breaks the low? $54.50. 47, so that's 7 points. That would be a winner. Do you know if a discount Bulenox? Let me see. It should be the same, is it not? I don't know if the Bulenox sale has changed. It should be 83%. Yeah, I think Pine Tree said it's 83%. But I'll double check it for you just to make sure. And that is on the 25Ks as well. I think option 1. Yeah, 83% is good through the 24th, it says. All right, there's our candle. All right, wicked below. Should be this one, yeah. So 28, 16, 11 points. The option 2 is 45% off. Use code MM1. Boom, boom, boom. So far today, looking okay. I mean, it's still holding the, still kind of holding that win percentage that we had experienced already. So that's always a good sign. That's going to be one of those to the moon ones. All right. So 950, we'll call it to, so that's a 125 point winner there. Just a casual 125 points. We don't lose. We follow the rules. That's right. We don't get religious. Hold and hope. We try not to. All right. I mean, this is as simple as it gets, right? And like, you know, price being fractal, you hear people say that all the time. I mean, it's true. So if like the 15-minute opening range break works reasonably and the 1 hour opening range works, then why wouldn't the 15-second work? Just kind of common sense there, right? 205, 223, so that's like 18 points. What does Max say? He's like hanging off the recliner saying, yes, perfect. It works perfect. All right, Lunatic, appreciate you. All right, that's our candle. This one's going to be close. Let's measure. Let's calculate. 92 to 82. It's not that close. 10 points. You're on Max's side. Yeah, me too, for the most part. I'm on Max's side. It's faster for me to backtest it this way than to put the orders on. Like, I could go in and put the orders on the above and the below and let it keep the P&L and this and that, but it's faster to do it this way. Oof, that's a loss. Now let's check the other side. Let's check the other side. Let me measure it just to make sure. 180, yeah, 182. Did go 2 points. And the other side would have been a winner. Look at that. So we're going to go, we'll go boom, it went 2 points. And then the other side would have been a winner. So 2 of the losses so far, if you took it on the break of the other side, it actually won 2 of the 3 losses so far. I did not check the first one. I forgot. So all right, let's take a look. Not tagged in there. Close. Oof. Would have been tagged in there. How many points? 206 1/4. 202. So this actually went 4 points. 3.75. So that one would be counted as a winner. But let's also look at the other side. Just curious. The other side still would have been a winner too. So that's what we'll do. So writing it down, so far it still looks like it's holding up. I don't know if it's still at 80% or not. So far we've been, how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 wins, 3 losses. So far. I think that's around 80%, if my math is not wrong. Wow. It's amazing that you wouldn't have gotten tagged in on that bottom side. So close. All right. 795. Yeah, that's 45 points there. Any of you guys using this or whatever? You haven't heard of it and you're thinking about starting to use it? I've used it for 3 days and I'm 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Backtesting showed good enough results for me to use it, so got to get that forward test going. It's 462 up to 478. 16 points. Such an exciting time to backtest. Max says so too. What up, Pine Tree? Pine Tree he's taking the dubs on it. I don't know. I think pick a couple accounts. I've chose my Bulenox accounts to do it with. And I said I wasn't going to use the copy trader, but I did today. It worked fine. 40, 75, 44. So this is one. All right, let's look at it. 41. I mean, it's only 3 points. I'm going to count that as a loss. Again, even on these losses, it's still going 2 to 3 points. It's not like it's tagging you in and just reversing. So here's the thing. Think about it in terms of if you have a trail stop like I'm going to do. So what I'm doing is, I was curious if the sell side would want 210.75, 207.50. So that one would have lost on the sell side. Here's the thing. So I'm going with a 3-point stop. 3-point stop, and I'm having it trail. So every tick it moves into profit, it moves my stop up. So if it goes 3 points in profit, then my stop is essentially break even, right? So on these trades where it went 3.5 points, 3 points, 2 points, 3 points, if I'm only risking 3 points, I'm still only getting stopped out for a point or so. I'm not going to be stopped out for the full, the full amount. David, this is the opening range break for the 15-second chart. So we're looking at the first 15-second candle after open, and we'll look for the breaker above or below it, and we're taking the trade based on that. And we're going high, we're going heavy size, with small points. I'm just looking for 2 to 3 points. James, I used the Quantire copier today. Oof, that's an ugly candle. 70 down to 68. So that one only went a point and a half. That's the worst one we've seen in a while. 69.75. So 1.25. That's a loss. And it looks like it would have failed the other way too. I'm not going to take them in both directions, but I'm just curious. Oh. What did ES do there? Pulled back and retest 92. All right. Wow. That's a hell of a 15-second candle there. So it would have been stopped 24 to 35. 9 points. Your bot's losing. Oh. To treat you so bad. 84.75. 81.75. So 3 points. I'm going to count that one as a loser as well. Like I said, if it goes 3 points or less, I'm counting as it a loser. Just because of, like, slippage. I mean, that one did end up going. Oh, 3 points trailing stop? Yeah. You were sure shot FX while scalping on another account, but not sure about trading bots. What is sure shot FX? I don't know what that is. Okay, wait a second. This didn't take me to the next day. What happened there? There we go. Oh, trading signals. All right, there's our candle. 127.50 to 124. It's going to be 3.5 points. Three and a half points. Telegram straight to your MetaTrader. Oh yeah, I don't know anything about this Telegram stuff. I don't use that stuff. $138. So 32 points. Here's the thing, at a 1-to-1, this thing really only has to hit around, I mean, realistically, like 60% would be a money printer at 1-to-1. I think it's probably, if I had to guess, we're probably going to end up in the 70s, which I still think it's going to be solid. Still will be solid. That one. Let's see if that one sweeps the other side or not. $38 to $36. That is the only one I've seen where it would literally just would have been a straight loss. Didn't go anywhere. So that one would have been a full loss. Back from a power outage. We're doing the 15-second, Coach Fred. 15-second opening range. The 15-second. All right, this would have been another one where 52.25. Give 1 point. Looks like if it loses on one side, it's probably we have 4 wins and 2 losses on the other side so far. So a couple of losers there. I think that's 2 losers in a row. The most we've gotten in a row, I think, is 3, maybe 4. All right, this went 299.75. We got to look at the next candle. Okay, so it did push lower first. 299.75 to 296. So 3.75 points. And then let's see if it does what it does on the other side. Nope. Didn't go back to it. You're currently at work, hiding in the bathroom, pooping on company time, Yoji. Pooping on company time. I guess that's the way to do it. Pooping on the company time. Would have been stopped there. So 52 to 68. Oh, you're the boss? Oh, perfect. I used to do that all the time. I would be asleep in my company truck somewhere just when I was the regional or the manager for about 25-30 techs at Comcast. I would just go like some parking lots and just go to sleep. At Target. It really matter. Anywhere. Kick my feet up. Leave the AC on. The heater if it was in the winter. And just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. That's it. Enjoy the nap. Enjoy a nap. You always had to be, the phone had to be glued to your side though, because if you got an email, you had like 5 minutes to check the email to respond. Room wants to sit in the bathroom with you. I do, James, yeah. We do indeed. 19 points. So a couple of losers there. Kind of had like a little run of 50-50 week. A little week or two there where we were just 50-50. That's going to happen. You don't expect it to like win every single day. And that's why you backtest and forward test. Because, you know, truthfully, worked in yesterday's market may or may not work in today's market, right? 5 points. What am I listening to? That was cat litter advertisement. I was like, what in the world? These are the kind that I hate, where it like closes right at the low. $77.75. $73.50. So to go 4 points. So it's a win. Room, you're in the UK? Didn't know that. I always thought you were somewhere in the United States, near a Wendy's. You know, not specific, just near a Wendy's. All right. 23.50. 31, 8 points. Thereabouts. I start new row. Too much guns in the U.S.? Yeah. I don't have any of those, Room. I don't have any pew-pews. None. None. You're safe. Ish. There we go. 15-minute double wicker. All right. 801, 75, 813. We'll call that 11 points. Here in Chicago, even preschoolers are packing heat. Chicago is kind of a little bit of a scarier area, depending upon where you're at. It wasn't. I went there with my kids last summer, and it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't feel the safest, I will say. I didn't feel like in danger, but I also didn't feel the safest. Like Louisville, Kentucky. Like, beautiful downtown area. You know, like certain areas of the country, you just have really nice downtown areas, and it's clean, and you don't really see homeless, that sort of thing. $23 points. We went to the whatever place, the place that builds the Louisville Slugger. I don't remember what it's called. Probably Louisville Slugger Warehouse. All right, what date are we on now? Where did I see the date at earlier? I was looking for it and I didn't. Oh, there it is. So right now we're on May 8th. So we got a little more to go here. We are on May 8th. Oof. Oofka. 149, 148. So that's a loss. They gave 1 point. All right, let's check the other side. Got need one more candle. 16925, 172. Yeah. So that would have been a loss too. We'll just call that a loss. 3 points. Yes, I did Pine Tree. I took it live this morning. Go back and look. How many contracts are you using on the 50K? On this strategy, Francis, I'm using 7 on a Bulenox 50K funded account. 7 minis with a 3-point trail stop. That's what I used today. I don't know if I'll stick to that long term, but that's what I used today. And I made $1,000. 7 points with 7 minis. That's the thing. On the days that you make more money, that's why, like, maybe actually taking it for more points might make sense, you know? That might make more sense. So you can use it on an Apex account, but you cannot, you know, whether you'll get denied for improper risk management, I don't know. If you go 10 minis, I mean, I would think that if you can show that it's a strategy that you're using and you're using it with the same contracts at the every time, then I don't see how they could deny you. Now, that being said, you cannot bracket above and below on Apex. So you would have had to just pick one side, right? $8.99. So that's a 77-point winner. Yeah, I think it should be fine. I mean, like, I don't see a reason for Apex to deny you, but you guys know how that works. I mean, so that's why I'm trading it on Bulenox, because I know Bulenox is not going to care. They're not going to care. I do have some guns. I'm just kidding, but I don't have any millions room. I wish I had millions. I barely have hundreds. Barely have hundreds. Oof. Oofka. Loss. 1 point. See if it does anything on the other side. Oh, winner on the other side. We can add a master once to meet threshold in the, well, you can have up to 3, Nate, without one being, but well, you can have 3 below the threshold at one time. Once you get one of the 3 over the threshold, then you can add a 4th. And once you get another over, you can add a 5th, so on and so forth, up to 11. Yeah, it's Buell. It is trailing, but I'm not so much concerned with the trailing. I mean, you see, like today, if you can make, I mean, if you can get $400 or $500 wins, you're going to be over the threshold pretty quickly. You grew up around pew-pews in more of a rural setting. Yeah, me too. I mean, I didn't have any per se myself, but my family members did. So I keep all mine locked up. I do carry. I have concealed carry. So we do carry, but all right. What day are we on now? We're on May 15th. So what do we got? About well, more than that. About another month to do here. About 20 more days. And we will have some complete numbers here. $286, $282. Ooh, that was only 4.75 points, but it's still a winner. You can still carry a plastic bag of poo. Get away from me. I will poo you. I will poo-poo you. Oh. I will hit you with thy poo-poo. All right, let's see if we can get this done. $440 and a quota. 7 points. This thing's moving kind of slow today. Taking it a second to go to the next session. Taking its time. All right. 226, 233. The 3-point trail allows trades 20 plus points. Yeah, sometimes, Nate. If you get a trade that runs and it doesn't stop you, I'm risking 3 points. So, like, even on trades, like, I'm writing down losers here. So, like, so far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 losers on this session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those losers all went 3 points. So, realistically speaking, depending upon slippage and such, those are really break-even trades, right? Theoretically. Thereabouts it. They should be break-even or close to it. So, that's why I think the trail makes more sense than the hard stops. 428.25, 431.25. So this one went 3 points. But that still, to me, is going to be a loser. So, and then if you can, and also with the trail, sometimes you're going to catch 15, 20, 30 points. And if you do, then that is going to help offset the losers, right? So if you catch a trade like today, I called 7 points. Well, if I have 2 losers, I'm still break even. Still break even. Well, the trail's going to follow you up. So like today, it followed me up and it pulled back and stopped me at 7 points. It still went 60 points, but I only got 7 because the trail was following it. So it's protecting your stop, while also it's kind of letting you get more points. Now we'll have to kind of backtest that. I'll have to dig deeper into this than what I'm doing here. Here I'm establishing a win percentage. That's all I'm doing here. Establishing a win percentage, getting an average winner and an average loser, and then you tweak it. Then you dial it in. Then you decide, do I go with a trail? Do I not go with a trail? Do I go with a lower win rate? Do I go with a lower win rate and maybe maybe a fixed, you know, a bigger stop? Do you go with a lower win rate? Maybe you get the win rate down to 65%, but you're now at a solid 1 to 2, or 1 to 2 risk to reward. At 65%, that's printing money. So it's all about how you want to do it. I'd rather have the rate closer to 75, 80%. Win 7.5 out of 10 days and only get 2 to 3 points. Personally, that right now, that's what I'm thinking. Just get 2 or 3 points. Even at 2 points with 7 minis, it's $140 a point. So it's $280. $280, 10 days, you're at payout. Pretty simple math. You know what I mean? Pretty simple math there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with it. Larger size, shorter take profits, very, very tight stop. You can maybe backtest it with a 10-point stop and go that way. It's all up to you. You can make it your own, right? So the guy that I saw use it, he's going for bigger wins. And he was on TikTok, so I don't know his name. I can't remember. If I knew his name, then I would give him credit for it, but I don't. All right, so this one, 6-7, 70. So like, again, this one went 3 points, but I'm still going to call that a loser. Still calling it a loser, even though technically that's probably a break even. And then it did win on the other side. So, yeah, no worries, Nate. I don't mind answering questions. That's why I'm streaming it. If I didn't want to, man, I would just do her. I would do her in private. The privacy. I like to stream it, put it out there. The backtesting videos don't do very well as far as views, so that's why I'm just doing it as a stream. Just doing it, you know, instead of doing a separate video or whatever. And then, like, some days you're going to get, like, these type of moves where, and, like, you could be like, okay, I'm going to hold for, like, I want the days where I get 20+ points. So, wow, why does that look so big, but it's not? That's 5 points. Yeah, that's crazy. That looked like a lot more than 5 points. So, yeah, I wouldn't manage to trade at all, Room. I mean, like, if you're going to do the bot, I would make it to where it automatically trails if you can. Yeah, that's what she says. Try to make it where it automatically trails. I know that can be done on Quantower. I have a bot that will do it on Quantower. And that's maybe what I do is I might just set it up on that bot and let it take it. I have an opening range bot that I was using that Ratlord made a few months ago. I could use that for this and set it up on 15-second chart. I was doing it on the 1 minute. $16 points. Yeah, for sure, EMAC. All right, May 27th. I think I'm going to go until the end of May here, and then we'll call it. We're going to calculate. That'll be 6 months, basically. Yeah, it has to be like either an auto trail or just set it up on a. If you're going to do it on a bot, I'd probably go 3-point stop, 3-point take profit, and just be happy with that. Something like that, or a 5 and a 5. All right, let's see what we get here. 512 to 521. That's 9 points. So this is a Wednesday. So we got 2 more days. 2 more days, and then we're going to look at the results. See if we can get back-to-back wins here to end out the back test. There's one win. 655 to 638. That's 17 points. All right, this will be the last back test day. This takes us up to June 1st, which I realize that's, you know, we got another 10 days we could do, but I know the results of 2 of those days, so I'm just going to leave it at June 1st. And then we'll do some configuring to see what the actual win percentage is. Boom. Boom. Ended on a W right there. How about it? Still not stopped out. Now you are. So 372 down to 340. So 30 points. All right, let's do the math. Thank you for putting in the work. Smash the like button. Let's go, Pine Tree. Thanks. So let's do a quick math here. So we know our last test was 44 out of 54. That was our last test, right? So this one, let's see how many. First, let's see how many days, how many wins we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So we had 39 wins. And in the last back test, we had 44 wins. And we had 10 losses. This one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 losses. So a little worse here on the win to loss, but that's okay. So let's go 44 plus 39. No, I don't know what that is. 83. And then we did a total of 106 days. So we divided by 83 by 106. And we have 78.3% win rate. That is over 106 tested days. All right. That's pretty solid. Now that is taking into account a 3-point stop and a 3-point take profit. Now, let's look at the losses because there's a curious thing in here. Like I said, how many of the losses actually hit the 3-point stop or actually went 3 points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of the 13 losses today actually went 3 points. So if you're using the trail stop, those effectively might be break-even trades. Might be. You might lose a point. You might lose a point and a half. They might be break-even trades. So something to consider. Then out of those 13 losses, I did check 12 of them to see the win-loss on the other side. So in other words, it went up, stopped you out, and then it broke to the other side of the candle. We tested 12 of those, or actually 10 of those, because one of them never came back. So out of the 10, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of 10 won on the other side after losing. So what does that tell you? I mean, is that enough data to say take it on both sides? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. But it is interesting. Very similar win rate on the play of the other side. So maybe you don't OCO. Maybe you leave the order on. If it loses, you let it take the other side too. That's up to you on how much risk you want to take. The 15-minute orb play room when I back tested it was around 55%. Different people play it different ways. You can take the straight breakout. You can take a retest. I back tested it with just a straight breakout, just like I did this. And it was about 55% win rate. So this is killing it. This is killing it right here. I mean, really, it did, guys, it's 78% through 106 days. That's a money printer right there. You think about that in terms, let's just say that we got 2-point winner over those 83 days. Let's just do some simple math on that. Where did my calculator go? Did I close it? So let's say we got 2 points with 7 contracts. So you go 140, so 280 times 83. So over 106 days, you would have made $23,000. Now we got to factor in the losses, right? 23 losses. So 23. So you can go what? 140 times 3 times 23. So 9,660. What was the other one? 23,240. 9,660. Now this is if you took a full 3-point loss. So over 3 months you would have profited 13 grand. And that's assuming you only got 2-point profit and you took a 3-point loss, right? Now we're trailing, so you should hardly ever take a 3-point loss. But this is worst case scenario. So you divide that by 106 trading days. So about $128 a day, assuming that you took full loss, which you probably never would. But I like to look at it. I like to look at it in terms of like worst case scenario, right? Say the 23 losses were full losses. Now, also as far as your profit goes, are you only going to get $280 times 83 days? No, that's the minimum. You're at least going to get 280, but there's going to be some days like today where you take 1,000. So you have to take all of those things into consideration when determining like what size you want to use and things like that. So, anybody got any questions about it? I think that's a good test. I'll probably, like I said, I'm going to dive a little deeper into it. Let's see what we get. The market's too fast. Not really. Room, it really just to me. It just depends. Send me the check, Pine Tree. Yeah, send me the check. You got to remember the stop loss is trailing. The stop loss is trailing. I haven't had a problem with it yet, but we'll see. No. Room on Ninja, I have had it ignore the stop loss if you tried to copy trade it. We had that happen on the 350 algo trade too. So that's why I'm on Quantower and I'm saying just use a single account, you know, and it usually is fine. If it's ignoring the stop loss, that means it's not getting it on there in time. Maybe expand it a little bit, make it 5 points or something with a 2-point take profit. It's going to be hard for a bot to do. Yeah, exactly, Room. It's going to be hard for a bot to do because it's going to move so fast. Bots inherently do have a little delay. So, but anyways, guys, I'm just going to end it there for me today. Appreciate you guys watching. We had a good day. We're up $1,000 in those 3 Bulenoxes, 400 on one MyFunded Futures, 330, 320 on the other 2 MyFunded Futures. So we'll be back probably tomorrow. I don't know if I'll hit Asia. We'll see how I feel here in a couple hours. So appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you.